hello from Brazil, from, I don't want to destroy the pronunciation of this, but Camboria, Brazil. We are in the middle of nowhere, like we're very, very remote in Brazil. We're like just about 15k from the city in this beautiful little resort. It's gorgeous, let me show you. And yeah, just got here, my bike did not, so I'm just chilling because I can't ride today. And then there's a bike that I might be able to borrow tomorrow, so I'm going to try and find that this evening. They've given me no information about finding my bike. Apparently it's lost, but I can see where it is on an air tag. It's in Sao Paulo, so at least it's in Brazil. What is the worst start to any bike race? Your bike not arriving. Yeah, I could see it wasn't on the plane. And lo and behold, the AirTag confirms it's in Sao Paulo. So I'm here for UCI race on Sunday. Luckily it's Sunday because that gives me a couple more days for my bike to get here. It's 120k with lots of climbing, and I think it's going to be really tough. Oh my god, we've got a feast. Here is our little cabin. This is so cool.
It's a bit twisted.
Oh my god, these are so cool.
Normally it's around 20 or so.
He said he didn't know how many grams of carbs. He was like, maybe 20. He just eats them when he feels hungry. Because I was like, how many grams of carbs? But I'm going to eat those because obviously my OT nutrition is also in my bike box. I did actually pack my helmet, my shoes, my pedals in my hand luggage because I had a weird gut feeling that I'd need them, and I did need them.
That was a fake. Did you see that?
See what?
It was like a red snake.
No? What? No?
Oh my god, sorry. It's really good of a red and black snake. First experience riding in Brazil.
I should have filmed it.
What's this?
Brazil.
It's so hard. So this is the key climbs we've been told, and we just had to get off. It was so loose and there was a car coming the other direction and it was steep. But I'm hoping I'll have more goes for the race. I think with the motivation of the race we can do it.
Yes.
And that's how we descend it. I don't think I'd do that. Okay, I just want to show you how sweaty I am. That's actually insane. I'm dripping. I'm dripping with sweat. That's insane.
It's the most I've sweated
Ever.
in my entire life. Thoughts so far on the recce?
It's stunning. Yeah, it's like doing Gravel. It's the only place I can like compare it to. I think it's been really hard, but really fun. And yeah, we just need to hold in there for the first few climbs. Because this bit, I think you want to start. You don't want to be alone.
No. Yeah, it's very extreme climbs, extreme descents, then just flat.
Just went up a climb. I am absolutely dripping with sweat. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, completely dripping. That climb was average 8%, but it had like 25%, 26% sections. This route is brutal, like insane. I was pushing like 300 watts just trying to get up it. Like, trying to ride zone 2. That's not zone 2, let me tell you that. It's gorgeous. It's like being in the jungle. I mean, we probably are in the jungle. I'm gonna need to find some more water. Gorgeous.
Hello!
We found some fluids to replace our lost fluids, which is a lot. We found some friends as well. They saw us drinking.
They're not as sweaty as us,
No.
which is
I
concerning.
think they're Brazilian. We are nearly finished our recce. We are climbing back up the really hard section. Yeah, this is a really hard course. Like, way harder than I expected, to be honest. It's so fun. We're literally in the jungle. So far I've spotted 3 snakes. One was alive.
What's the news, Maddie?
The news is my bike has been located and collected by Gabriel, our friend, and I'm so happy. I could actually cry.
Lifesaver.
I hope it's okay. Like now I'm just thinking, I was about to give it a gender and say she, but she's been alone for a night.
She's had a journey.
She's had a journey.
In
She's
Sao
been
Paulo.
in Sao Paulo on her own. Like, what's happened to her? How's she been?
Yeah, she's visited the terminals.
She went to Terminal 3, then she went back to Terminal 2, then she got on the runway. She got on a plane at 11 p.m. last night, and I found out at 6 a.m. this morning that she's here, and now she's being driven here. I'm so excited. No offense to this bike.
Which I won't film.
Which we won't show, but I was very happy to have a bike that I could borrow, but I'm very excited to get my bike back and get some more gears for that climb. We've got a box.
Tequila, tacos, burritos.
One came off. It's not built for this surface. It's a gravel bike, but it's not gravel bike box.
No, that's a business idea.
Is on apartment.
What? Yeah, this to the right. This is blowing my mind.
What breakfast have we got today, Maddie?
French toast, chocolate leche.
The Maddie special.
On it. Add some carbs. Just a 2-plate breakfast. We're carb loading. This looks great. What's happening? They're coming through. Oh no, we were trying to take a photo.
Photo opportunity.
But they've got their like shakeout ride. Woo! Vamos! Hey, buddy. Recce part 2. We're in the flat section. How flat is it?
Extremely now compared to yesterday.
It is. We're definitely still going uphill. Ooh, oh my god, downhill. Wow.
My Garmin still thinks we're in Colombia. Spicy climb.
Let's gravel.
Found a bike twin here.
Bike twin.
Fez muito bem essa transição do World Tour. What's a common misconception people?
Oh, I'm so excited. We're having our first acai.
Well, my second.
More carbs, extra carbs. I did granola and banana. Live tasting of my first Brazilian acai and your second.
My second.
You cheekily had one before I got
Yes,
here.
I couldn't resist. It's just so hot.
Okay, so I've never had one in Brazil, obviously, because I've never been to Brazil. So let's compare it to British. That's really good. That is so refreshing.
These
What
are
have we got here?
crepes.
Brazilian crepes.
Nutella.
Yeah.
That's Maddie's choice.
I assume the Kinder's inside.
Kinder egg.
Are you a hot dog? Yeah, you're so hot.
Bicicletas eu não vou ler porque isso está bastante, né? Então qualquer tipo de bicicleta tá ao
French toast for breakfast before a race. Never done that before, but that was the option. Oh my god, she found cereal. What?
I swear, I didn't find it. Simon found it.
Genius.
Simon has eyes like a hawk.
How are you feeling, Maddie?
I'm feeling okay. Our stomachs aren't doing great this morning. Run out of loo roll, which is a great start. I'm nervous, predictably, but like I'm really excited for this. I think this is gonna be really good fun. We don't know what to expect. Obviously, we don't know like what like the level of competition is here at all because I've never raced. I think I've only raced one of these girls ever in my life. But yeah, we're excited. We're nervous, but we're gonna have so much fun and we're gonna drink so much water. Neither of us are gonna cramp or dehydrate or get heat stroke.
I hope not.
No, we're not. And yeah, we're gonna have a caipirinha and hop in the pool at the finish line and maybe an acai bowl.
Yes. regardless, it's been like a festival so far.
It has. So
It's going to be a good
we
day.
just need to do the race part that we came for.
Yeah, that part and the essay.
Brasil, dentro de 1 minuto. Preparado o grande grupo das mulheres aqui. 2, 1.
So the race started through this kind of like complicated bit through like grass and through the car park basically, but it was a group of all the women in all the age categories, and I just wanted to stick as close to the front as I could, but I didn't want to sit on the front as much as possible because I had no idea what sort of speed we'd set off, but it wasn't too hard, but everyone kind of was testing each other's legs a little bit here, so people were doing like little attacks, and I just made sure I was always like second, third wheel. I didn't want to spend too much time on the front where possible, but I also didn't want anything to get away and me not to be able to follow it. So it started with this like really steep road descent, and I was a little bit worried about getting dropped on this, but I just made sure to kind of work my way back after the road descent. So we started 2 minutes behind the age group men and 4 minutes behind the elite men, but actually the women really didn't ride with men much. Like here you can kind of see we just kind of formed our own group, and when men came round us trying to like attack us, we didn't get on their wheels, which I actually thought was really nice. That the race was kind of completely independent and the women treated it like an independent race. But yeah, here, this is like the first 20 or so kilometres, and it was rolling. It was really nice rolling gravel, and I was just kind of making sure that, yeah, I was staying at the front view wheels without doing anything too exerting. I actually dropped a bottle 5 kilometres in, which was so silly, and I didn't have my hydration vest because I was going to pick it up later on. So I only have 500 mils, and I wasn't going to pick up any bottles until 45k at a feed when I'd like planned for someone to help me. So I was being really, really careful to be like as sensible as possible and conservative because I didn't want to strain myself and like need water basically. So I was like keeping on the wheels but making sure I wasn't doing anything to make myself thirsty. It was about 18-19 kilometres in, we hit this first kind of longer 5 kilometre climb, and gaps did start to form, but I made sure that I wasn't pushing myself too much because, as I said, water, dehydration, it was like 35 degrees, it hit 40 at the peak of the day, so I really didn't want to need water, and I knew I was really limited on what I had. So yeah, here you can kind of see the woman in front of me was riding quite conservatively, and I was too. We actually gapped the rest of the riders, me and Erica, this woman in front, but I turned to her and was like, oh, we've got a gap, but she didn't seem to like want to work together and get away, so I was like, do you know what, it's so early in the race, I don't want to go on my own, so I'm just gonna ride with her and like, yeah, keep sensible as possible. So the course had like a really important moment at 28k, and then we hit it again on the reverse journey, and my plan was on the reverse way in, so 28k to go, I was going to attack on this climb, but I made sure to be first wheel going in this direction because I knew the climb was super steep and I knew I could get up the first one, and I didn't know whether other people would be able to get up it riding, so I made sure I was first wheel in so that no one put a foot down in front of me, and I just rode it carefully, but like obviously I had to push relatively hard to actually get up it. So this is me riding this first of the 2 towers, which was like, it was like 30% here. So at the top of the climb, I turned around and I couldn't see any women with me, which wasn't part of my plan, but naturally I just kind of went, right, this is it, I'm just gonna have to go. Like, I've got a gap, I'm just gonna go. Hopefully they'll forget about me and start racing for second and third. So I just went, and I was like, oh no, I've got 92 kilometers on my own now. But yeah, I kind of made the decision to go, and then I suddenly realised that I had the second of the two towers, which was even steeper, and the conditions like under tyre were like super slippy. But I was like, God, I'm going, I'm just gonna have to get up this as fast as possible. And when I have to get off the bike, because it did get too loose and too steep and there were so many people in the way, I'm just gonna have to like basically try and run. I actually only had to like walk/run a short section, and then I was able to get back on somehow and start pushing again. And I think that maybe did help me with my time gap on the other women, because then I was able to ride the rest of the climb. And yeah, that was basically the start of what was to be a 92-kilometer TT, where, to be honest, most of it I rode entirely on my own. At some point I found some men, but because I'd caught time on them, typically they weren't riding at the same pace as I was, but there were points where I was able to like work with a few men for a bit, but most of the time I would just go straight round and just go on my own. The course was extremely challenging, and yeah, so much elevation and just some really steep climbs, as well as like slightly rockier sections, and it was just really hard work, especially when I was on my own in the wind on these flat sections, which wasn't part of my plan. I didn't have much of an idea on the time gap, so I basically just kept pushing, and I would just push as hard as I can, basically where I could. So when the climbs were really steep, it was actually just survival to get up them at points. But yeah, I was just kind of trying to keep as airy as possible and push power out on the flats, and then yeah, as fast as possible on the descents, and just keep motivated, which is really hard when you've not got anyone in front of you to kind of get an idea of like what sort of speed you should be riding. It is really hard to keep kind of consistent and pushing power. So this is a shot from one of the motos. There was like lead moto with me, of me on the flat section. You can see I'm just trying to go as fast as possible basically.
So much heat.
I hadn't recce'd the last bit of the course and it was like a really long flat section, and then a 13% average road climb, which I literally died on, and this was it here, and my left leg was cramping a bit, but I just had the finish line in my mind, and at that point I was like, okay, I've won this race. I know I'm okay now. Like, I can't see anyone else. I've definitely won this race. And the moto was trying to tell me to like calm down, that I definitely won, but I also don't speak Portuguese. The time gap to second was actually 13 minutes, so I probably could have calmed down a little bit, but you know, in that moment, you're just thinking about the finish line and winning the race, so I was like, I've just got to keep going, got to get to that finish line.
Registre-se esse momento, comemora! A britânica vence a prova! Estava liderando quando completou seus 50 minutos de prova. E agora chega no fundo!
Obrigada.
120 quilômetros vencidos pela britânica. Deu a tua hospedagem aqui, viu? Otávio Bus, por gentileza. Otávio Bus, comparecer aqui. 64. Média Minuti, então, portanto, é campeã.
Obrigada.
Can you tell us how was the experience in the race and how do you feel being the first number one?
Well, it was really hard. I think that's one of the hardest like 120k courses I've ever done. It was just like relentless, and like there were some climbs that I didn't know about because I'd recce'd most of the course, but at the end, oh my god, that road climb, my leg was cramped and I could barely get up it, but I'm so happy to have won. Like, I had no idea where the other women were because I didn't try and attack, but in the first, at 28k, there was like a really steep climb, and I knew I could ride it, and I thought a lot of the girls would have to get off, so I just made sure I was first into it. And when I got to the top, I turned around and couldn't see anyone, so I was just like, I guess I'm now alone for however long, and if they catch me then I can race them. But I just kept going because I was like, I might as well now, I've got a gap. I also thought they were racing it a bit more like a road race rather than a gravel race. There was like, at the beginning it was pretty chill and people were attacking, so I thought if I went, they'd maybe assume that first was gone and they'd start racing for second and third, and then there'd be like tactics and they'd slow down a bit. So I don't know what happened and if that happened, but they were racing more like a road race than a gravel race, and I'm used to gravel racing, so I just went off and like TT'd for, it was like 92 kilometers on my own. So hard.
da Madeleine. Venceu a prova, o suíço venceu a prova no masculino, na elite masculina.
That was insane. Also, I'm British, so like the heat is not my forte. I was dying. So hot. So hot. And I dropped a bottle 5k in, so I really didn't have much water. But I did stop twice at like hydration points to like get more. And picked up a vest, which I think made a huge difference. But yeah, that wasn't easy. But incredible event. Like there were people everywhere, all over the course. Like there were some climbs where I was suffering so hard, and then I'd suddenly see a face for someone shouting like "Bora." Does that mean push? What does Bora mean? Because people would be like "Bora, Bora."
Bora, bora,
It's like, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, yeah, I was just like, okay. I don't know anyone knew that I didn't speak Portuguese. But yeah, it was quite good. I'm happy, really happy. It was a long journey to get here, so I think it was worth the flight. And now I think I'm gonna go bikepacking here on tomorrow. Go on a little bikepacking trip, yeah. I think I deserve that.
you surely do, of course.
Passando por aqui para 14º colocado, 45-49.
Okay, this is the fifth bottle I've been drinking. So I've got I think it's my 5th bottle, and I still don't need to wait because I'm being dope tested. It's just me and my weed. This is so embarrassing. Okay, we're still sat at doping control, and I'm the last woman standing. Apparently, I'm the worst at weeing. And they've had to delay the podium because I can't wee enough.
UCI Gravel World Series, Camboriú. Rafaela, Macarena, Meira, Silveira, Jéssica. Terceira colocada, a Luísa, a Tamires Haddad, a segunda colocada, atual campeã brasileira de ciclismo estrada também. Parabéns, Tamires. Continue o sucesso. E aí está a britânica Madeleine Nutti recebendo a premiação. UCI Gravel World Series, troféu pra cima, alegria, bandeira brasileira, elite recebendo a premiação. Hashtag, Simão vai colocar lá, hashtag sofri no Caetés. Troféu pra cima, alegria! Aos campeões, às campeãs desta festa maravilhosa.
Where are you going? Why are you running?
The bell. They rang the bell. It means cake.
The cake alarm.
The dogs are in. What have we got?
Everything. One of our 5 meals that we get
Wow.
in the day.
This is incredible.
The size of these rolls.
Well done. Cheers.
Done.
Woo!
The champion.
I don't know what's going on here, but
Post-race nutrition.
post-race nutrition is thriving. What is it?
A surprise.
Simon has just been approached with Google Translate where they asked to take a photo with him and he's buzzing. So cute. I think they're buzzing more.
Yeah, definitely. He was like, this is my thing.
And what happened at one of them?
So it was so hot. I don't know what temperature it was today, but it felt, what, 35?
It was meant to be 34 and I think it felt more.
Yeah, especially some parts where it was so exposed, it felt so hot, like being in an oven. But yeah, the feed stations, there were 6 feed stations, and the penultimate one, I think I must have looked like I was overheating because a man had a hose and he just hosed me down to cool me down.
And I think the funniest thing you said to me was, you didn't fully consent.
I'm not sure I consented to the hose, but I got a hose. And then another man joined in and also started tipping a bottle of water over me. So I must have looked like I was really struggling.
They saw the Brit. They saw the Brit coming.
Yeah, the British girl.
What have
My
we got?
first Brazilian caipirinha.
I tell you, it's super good.
Is it? Do we have an ability to turn this into a boat? This would be quite fun.
Rain dance just came a bit too late.
I'm not an expert, but I don't know if I would drive through that. Look at that. How's the caipirinha, Harriet?
It was excellent, thank you.
More caipirinhas. Post-race meal of choice.
Chicken burger.
How many grams of chips?
Half a kilo.
Half a kilo. Wow. Get off the race, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna go bike packing. I forgot my bike packing stuff, so I borrowed a saddle bag from Harriet, and then I did have a handlebar bag with me, and that's all we're gonna take. We're gonna go super light, minimalist, glamorous. What's going on here?
At least I can, you know, sometimes when you put things on the back of your bike, you don't see when they fly.
Oh,
off.
you don't want to lose socks.
So maybe I'll just, I don't want to lose the socks I'm trying to dry.
Bike packing, let's go! Okay, we've come across some of the course from yesterday.
Yeah, trauma.
Trauma, and I think it's more traumatic with bike packing stuff.
Yes. I'm losing my wind from my socks.
So this was probably, I would say, the worst part of the course yesterday. It's pretty bad. I think the front men still put a foot down. Start of our bikepacking adventure, we've just done a really easy 40k to get to our first Airbnb, which looks really nice. This is our Airbnb for tonight. This is so rogue.
He knows he's not allowed in here.
Hi, buddy.
Cheeky.
Might have got lost in translation. I'm not really sure. We're on Google Translate trying to discuss what we wanted for dinner, and we asked for chicken and fish. I think we're only having protein.
So we've got chicken and
fish.
This is a lot of fish.
Hello.
What is it about cake for breakfast in Brazil? An acai break. This was a self-serve acai. I got very confused. I could have probably mixed flavours. This is maracuja, which is passion fruit. But
There were many blends, so many acai blends.
Greek yogurt sounded good.
Everywhere.
Okay, we found coffee and cake. We've not had a good coffee yet, so I hope this is drinkable. We found a beach. We have ended up at a bougie pasta restaurant in Brazil, but it looks so good. I think this is the best looking acai I've had yet. I think that climb was worth it. I'm not sure. That was really steep. Okay, I need to end this video because it's ended up being a really long video, my adventure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the beach with an acai, my final acai. Let me show you the beach. Here is the beach with the city on it. It's so weird, but quite cool. Here we go. Now I've just got to find Harriet. This is quite hard. What have you found? A lifeguard. Harriet, how do you feel about your box?
I am so excited
To get a
We're gonna
box.
sit down and do a thorough unboxing.
We
later.
need to do an unboxing video.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why they did a
Let's give
box.
them a teaser. This is the box. Everyone's been waiting for this, I'm sure. Everyone wants to know what is in the UCI box.
What is in the UCI box?
Let's begin.
It's actually, I think this is one of the best race bags or like things that I've ever got, you know.
The best box I've ever got.
And this is your first proper gravel race, so
Yes.
you're getting
First
really
race.
high
I've got
standards
high expectations, yeah.
for
high
future
standards.
races.
So the first thing we have is a cup. The next thing we have is all the race numbers.
But-
And then we have a snood,
Oh,
which is so exciting. A jersey.
like think
A
about
UCI
the
jersey.
price of an entry and the price of a jersey, and you think that that's definitely worth it.
Yeah. I don't even need to do the race
We're
now.
positive. We're net
I've won
positive.
already. Yeah, this looks quite similar to the mountains that we climbed.
That we're
earlier.
climbing.
And this is the back. Big
Oh, that's
UCI
really
logo.
cool. That is really, really cool.
Nice. Pink stick.
Which
This
is
is a UV.
SPF lip balm.
Is it lip balm?
I think it's SPF lip balm.
Oh, it's facial.
Oh,
And
UV
what
nail
we think
polish,
is a nail varnish.
but we don't
We're
know.
not sure what that's for, but we'll find out. Then.
Oh, these are good. These are good.
Some socks.
Oh, those are so good.
UCI.
That was a good
I've got some
unboxing.
leaflets.
I'm quite happy with that
Shouldn't have
box.
leaflets. Got some leaflets as well.